So guys, I'll be answering the questions now for the chemistry of nucleic acid we reviewed yesterday. So question 1 says the pentoses in nucleotides are what? So we looked at them yesterday. This is the structure of the pentoses. So this is the carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4, and then of course your carbon 5 is here. And the OH is above the ring. And this kind of ring is actually a furanose ring. And if the OH is above the ring, it's a beta furanose ring. So the answer is A, in beta furanose form. To identify self DNA from non-self DNA, the self DNA may be methylated. So once we methylate the self DNA, we are able to identify them from non-self DNA. Functions of nucleotide includes it's useful in information storage and transmission, which is where we have our DNA and our RNA. The building blocks of this are actually nucleotides. Useful in storage of chemical energy. Yes, it can store chemical energy in form of ATP and GTP actually. Is useful in cell signaling. We could have them as cyclic AMP. There's a nucleotide useful in cell signaling. So the answer to this will be all of the above. Question 4 says choose the best option. Proteins have catalytic activity, correct? Proteins and RNA have catalytic activity, is also correct. The RNA we are concerned about is ribozyme. Ribozyme behaves like an enzyme. Proteins, ribozymes, and antibodies have catalytic activity. This is very accurate. Proteins, RNA, antibodies, and phospholipid. Phospholipid does not have catalytic activity. So the most accurate answer would actually be C. That's the best option. Question 5 says the backbone of DNA is hydrophilic. So it's made up of the sugar and phosphate. So it's hydrophilic. The core is actually hydrophobic. It's made up of nitrogenous bases joined together by hydrogen bonds. Which is the most stable form of DNA? We made mention of DNA A, DNA B, and DNA C, D, and Z, but we talked extensively about A, B, and Z. So the most stable form is actually the most popular, which is B DNA, the B form of DNA. As far as absorbance of DNA at 260 nanometer, which is correct? Individual nucleotides have better hyperchromicity compared to single-stranded and compared to double-stranded. So the answer to this will actually be A. We reviewed that in our lecture notes. You could recap by looking at it. Which of the following statements is true? DNA is more stable than RNA in alkaline conditions because of the presence of 2' H compared to RNA's 2' OH. Dehydration of DNA samples may induce the formation of A type of the DNA. So 75% of humid environment you find more of A form of DNA there. An increase in temperature of a DNA sample causes change in the absorbance and viscosity. So if I increase temperature, I'm going to denature the DNA sample. And once the DNA is denatured, the viscosity is reduced, but the absorbance rate is increased. RNA DNA hybrids are less stable than all of them. They are less stable. It's not very easy to form RNA and DNA hybrids. An increase in melting temperature of a double-stranded DNA may be due to high content of C and Gs. So the more the C and Gs, the higher the melting temperature. Thymine is present in which RNA? We have ribothymine present in tRNA. RNA is genetic material in some viruses only. Genetic material in some viruses only. DNA has autocatalytic, heterocatalytic, both autocatalytic and heterocatalytic functions. So the answer to this is both autocatalytic and heterocatalytic functions. So thank you guys.